All right, welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookie.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? We're your hosts coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. And we bring you the hottest topics in sports and culture. You understand? So, Fahim, Black History Month finished. Okay. And man, a lot has happened. Like 29 days. I want to do a quick little nugget here. Tyrese Halliburton is born on the leap year. I don't know if you saw this, Fahim, but he's a leap year baby. So he turned 6 years old on February 29th. 6. So he's probably the best 6-year-old 3-point shooter that I've seen in the NBA history. Any thoughts on Mr. Leap Year Halliburton, Fahim? I thought it was kind of funny, the fact that
No, yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know how that leap year thing works. That's odd. Even this month, usually it's like 28 days, I know, and then this year I heard it's 29th,
29th, yeah, the leap
29,
year.
and
Yeah.
I was confused. I was like, oh, so I mean, yeah, that's a cool technicality there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also want to do some Black History Month because we celebrate Black History for him on the podcast, every day. Spotify posted their most streamed songs in Spotify history. Now, looking at the top 10 list for him, let's just say Canada stand up.
Oh,
Fahim,
wow.
can you guess who is the most streamed artist? You should know this because I brought him up and I told you that he had the most grossed concert. He surpassed Michael Jackson last year. You got to know who this is for him. Who you think it is?
Drake.
No,
Oh,
The
Weekend.
Weeknd. Yes,
Oh,
The
okay,
Weeknd.
okay, okay.
Remember I told you he grossed
Yeah, right,
his
right,
history? Yeah, it's
right.
okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. So The
Mm.
Weeknd, Blinding Lights is the most streamed songs in Spotify history. For him, can you guess how many streams
Oh,
he's
wow.
had?
I can't. Oh, I guess. Sure. How many streams? Um, uh, I don't say a billion. A billion's a lot.
No, you're
I want
right.
to go
You're
with
right. A billion. It is a billion. But how much
like
billions
with
do
a
you
B,
think?
billion?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A billion streams. Wow. That's crazy.
How many billions do you think though?
Oh, billions, multiple with an
Yeah. How
S.
many billions do you think he
Oh,
got?
wow. Oh, I thought it was 1 billion. Okay. Poof. Um,
But
he
you're
did
on
the
track
Super Bowl.
though. You're on
Well,
track.
I mean, okay, yeah. So he did the Super Bowl, which obviously is a super bump. Okay, if, I'm gonna go with 10 billion.
4 billion.
Oh, okay.
4.0 billion
Oh,
streams.
Wow.
Um his he has 2 songs in the top 5 for him, most streamed all time. Now there've been other Super Bowl artists. There has been Rihanna's, there has been Beyonce's. All those guys have been Super Bowl, right? But they're not top 5. Starboy, The Weeknd,
okay.
3.1 billion. He
Uh,
is Canadian, man's from Scarborough, okay? Has
right.
2 songs in top 5 most streamed on Spotify all time. You
Hmm.
mentioned Drake. Drake is number 7 on the list
7.
for One
Wow.
Dance. One Dance
Okay.
is his most streamed song on Spotify
Really?
at
Wow.
3.0 billion. And then of course that's it for him. So he's his one song. The one
Wow.
song. But hey man,
Mm.
listen, people don't listen. The Weekend is a vibe, okay?
Hmm.
4 billion, 3.1, 2 songs in most streamed Spotify songs history. We
Hmm.
got to give The Weeknd some respect. You know what I'm saying? That's Black
Yeah.
history right there, and Black Canadian history right there. So enough
Shout
respect,
outs.
The Weeknd. Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to the weekend. It's funny when you mentioned Drake. I thought his most commercial song would have been Hotline Bling, but can you think of
No,
like a more, no, what was his more, which one am I missing? What's his more commercial song?
One Dance, the one that's in top 10.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
When One
So
Dance came out, that song was like viral for like 2 years. It was
yeah,
everywhere.
maybe, yeah, okay, yeah,
It had the
yeah. I
Afrobeat vibe. It has the
yeah.
dance, a pop vibe.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, just I don't know. Hmm.
But keep
That's
in
that's
mind, Drake has a
surprised.
lot of
That's surprised.
songs. He drops new
Yeah,
songs
yeah,
every year.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is what it is. Yeah. But
All
hey,
right.
2 Canadians in top 10. Gotta
Yeah.
love it.
Hmm. Nelly J, the NBA, they
Mm-hmm.
are looking to officially review whether the game is being tilted too far in favor of offense. We've been
Now,
seeing a lot. Yeah. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of 60, 70 point games. Um, I'll give you some averages just to show
okay.
some from so for over the last 10 years. Scoring 10 years ago, so the 2013, 2014 season, it was at 101 points per game was a team average.
Mm-hmm.
Now here we are 10 years later and it's at 115. So it's about a 14, call it almost 15 points more in regards
Seven
to
more shots
offense.
a game. That makes
Right.
sense. Faster pace too. The pace has gone up too. So
Hmm.
possessions per game has gone up. So that makes sense. Yep.
Yep. And as of just last month, January 2024, four players have scored over 60 points. Um, in a span of 4 days. So I guess yeah, within 4 days, four players scored 60 points, and that feat had only been done by 36 players in NBA history. So what's been done in the last four in within 4 days of those four players? But think about it, if you think of the long term, only 36 players in NBA history have
Mm-hmm.
gotten to that amount. So something's been happening as of late. I got a quote here that I saw from Drew Holiday, a defensive stopper. He said, "People like to see players score 60 or 70. How are you gonna do that with somebody if you can be physical?" So, I mean, it's true the game is kind of seem like it's being tilted toward the offense. And Nicholas Batum, he said 70 is the new 50, I guess. So I just want to get your thoughts in regards to offense and where we are right now, because or what factors do you have? Do you think that's
I'll
happening right
just say
now?
this. 30 points
Hmm.
today. I respect people averaging 30 or 40 in the 90s and 80s. And I know people go, oh, people back
Mm.
then weren't as skilled. Well, I don't give a damn. It wasn't like being most skilled. I get that or whatever. They were doing it, making twos, right?
Right.
LeBron has the most points in NBA history. But Fahim, guess who has the most field goals made? Not LeBron, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because
Hmm.
LeBron took way more threes than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So here we
Yep.
are, right?
Yep.
So like the economy, NBA offense, inflation. That's the term, Fahim.
Offense.
Inflation.
I like
There's a
that.
whole inflation. I think we're
Hmm.
gonna have to do analytics over time and probably have to divide something to make this because these numbers are so inflated. Um,
Hmm.
these players are like in terms of like offensive weaponry, like there's guys who obviously can do a lot, but I agree there's a big inflation. And my issue is zone defense. I mean, I like zone defense. I mean, I like it. Okay, Fahim. Zone defense it was introduced in NBA. I forgot what year it is. I think early 2000s. I was right. Look at me. I'm a basketball girl. 2001, 2002 was when the zone defenses were prohibited until that season for him, which makes sense because that's when we saw an uptick in scoring, right? Possessions per game and so forth. I think zone defense is very lazy. So for him, up until then, you were playing man to man, right?
Hmm.
So yes, you may have more skilled players today, but they don't have to play man to man throughout an entire game. Man to man for him. You know what I'm saying? So all these factors are coming into the NBA. And I just feel like, yeah, the NBA thought they did a miscalculation for him. They thought, oh, if we make it more offensively, like, like how the NFL is making now wide receivers, right? Like catches is inflated now, more catches, less rushing, right? It's like a tilt in that as well in the NFL. NBA thought, oh, more scoring, more shooting is better. Well, now Fahim, after watching that Dutty All Star game with 200 points scored, with the
Right.
lowest viewership ever in history, clearly
Right.
scoring doesn't sell. Clearly it's
Hmm.
not because if scoring was so amazing, Fahim, no one would have complained about the All Star game. We all would have watched it and hushed our mouth. It had the most scoring possible. But basketball is about
Hmm.
competing, right? Competing man to man. I check you, you check me. I still love seeing like MJ check Kobe or LeBron check Kobe or Carmel, like I used to love seeing the man-to-man one-on-one defenses. Now we barely see it because everyone's playing zone, switch, 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 switch. Like it's Macarena, you know what I'm saying? Like the basketball Macarena, switch, switch. It's annoying. So yes, I'm old school, so I'm biased. But clearly, the NBA thought that all the scoring would make the game more fun. Now the game is not as competitive. Typically, who scores the most points win. But Fahim, the only team that has won that way has been the Warriors and Denver, who won recently, Fahim. They took less 3-point attempts and made less threes and still won the championship. So clearly,
Mhm.
making three doesn't equate to winning championships. It only works if you have the top shooter of all time named Steph Curry, who is a unicorn, an outlier. No one can become him. I'm sorry. There's great shooters, and there's Steph. Steph is his own like freaking level of there's Steph Curry level, and then everybody
Mhm.
else, right?
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, for him, I just think that again, miscalculation. I think the NBA got to figure out a way to make it competitive. Maybe like you can't do zone in the fourth quarter. I don't know what for his team, but to me, this zone defense stuff, a lot of guys are switching, leaving mans open in corner threes. For him, it's not as competitive as it used to be, right? And the games when guys go off because the other team is playing zone and they're taking deep threes, taking deep shots, right? Zone defenses, miscue. It's not as great. But again, basketball is basketball. There's ways to tweak it, but Fahim, if they continue this way, Fahim, we're gonna get a lot of 7 foot guys that can make threes but can't block a shot, and that's sad.
Mhm.
That's really sad.
Right. Right. Uh, yeah, you seem to hit. I agree with everything you're mentioning there. I'm just wondering, if I had to say something about this, it would be, with the pace of the game. It just seems like it's very wide open, and that's why when I was reading the Drew Holiday quote, it really makes me think. Like, we talk about back in the day when we talk about the Jordan rules,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, and now it's just, um, the the league seems to be trying, to implement things that have to do with, officiating, and maybe not, in regards to, say, taking jump shots and not have it land, not bailing, people out by kicking out their feet, things on the offensive end. But in regards to the pace of the game, it's a faster pace, and it is all about scoring, right? So you're not going to have so much of a defensive game going forward. So I mean, I just don't know what the league can do, to deter, uh, people from shooting so much threes. Um, Steph Curry is really influencing a lot of the younger generation now. So the younger generation now, who are, shooting the ball so much better from 3-point line than past generations, if they're influenced by that, there's really no incentive for them to work on other aspects of the game. And I think that th we are entering like a finesse era, and a lot of that's going to have to
Boo.
come back.
Sorry. I
Well,
hate finesse
well,
players.
so
They're
I think that's just
pretty,
going to
but
come down
man,
to
they
the
don't really
pace of the
win up.
game.
They don't win. They don't win a lot. They don't win a lot, man.
Right, right. But it does come down to, I think the pace of the game is going to change quite a bit, and, I guess I have to, for myself, think, well, you know what, the game is always evolving and changing, and like generations before, they might look at the game as previous or generations come after, and not so much respect the way the game's evolved. So I don't want to be one of those guys. I just want to kind of be fluid with where the game is at. But you kind of hit it on the head when you're saying about the skill set of these big players. I do think that the league doesn't have much of an option. I don't know what they can do to bring down scoring, and increase defense. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah. Well,
Shout out to Beyond though. I
that.
got
Well, sorry. Go ahead.
I, I got to shout. I want to shout out Beyond. Beyond made an excellent point at the All-Star game. We're talking about there's a lot more 3-point. That's the most 3-point attempts attempted during the All-Star game, and he brought in, that point on Twitter Spaces. Shout out to Beyond the Locker Room. He said, if they eliminated the 3-point line during the All-Star game, then there would be no incentive for these long threes,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I think is a great, great idea.
I agree. That that's something where I truly believe where there's going to be a challenge for him. Definitely a big challenge
Hmm.
around
Hmm.
um how how they how they manage it. And I think the best way to me is, of course, and actually somebody made a good comment. I want to shout out Hopeful and a few others who commented that the reason that we've gone to so many threes is the analytics of basketball, right? Analytics became big in
Hmm.
basketball probably also around the same time around the mid 2000s, where we saw a big, like all these teams investing in analytics, right? And owners understand numbers and threes are greater than twos. For some reason, when you speak to a trainer or someone developing a player, they say every team, Fahim, focuses on 3-point shooting, like every NBA team, right? So if you can't shoot a three
Right.
as a big man, you better be exceptional rebounder, exceptional something else, right?
Right.
Um, and so a lot of these kids coming up, they're focusing on the 3-point line, um, which to me
Hmm.
is fine. But then what happened to the mid range? Playing with your back to the basket. The basketball has so much other plays and moves and areas on the court. That's why Jimmy Butler, who got that baseline on check, no one can stop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many guys that
Hmm.
have mid-range games. Kawhi Leonard that can do so much and can shoot threes. LeBron can do it both as well. Like being a three-level scorer matters. Only shooting threes to me that's fine, but I think it's kind of lazy if all you can do is shoot a three and that's it, right? You can't make a basketball move around the rim. You're a poor finisher. Fahim, we have a couple guys on the Raptors before, and I'll say one guy this year who can't finish around the rim, but boy, can he make a three when he's hot, but he has no mid range, right? So I just think that, if you want to become a great player or top 10 player, you got to have more than just shooting threes. And all the top players in the NBA can do more than just shooting threes. That's why they're top 10. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yep.
it's just
Hmm.
something where, okay, well, I'm tall and I can shoot a three. Yes, but are you a rim protector? Can you defend the interior? Do you have good footwork? There's other things than just shooting threes. And I just think that, that the beautiful thing about a big man is that they can do multiple things to protect the paint. And we saw Jokic, who plays big, right? And has helped his team win a championship. We've seen Giannis, who plays big, can't shoot threes, but boy, can he, but he plays with force. You know what I'm saying? That won a championship,
Hmm.
right? Others, Kawhi Leonard, he can shoot a three, but he's also forceful as well. So it's just something I think, again, this offensive problem, the NBA created it, figure it out. That's what I say for him. This is a you problem, NBA. Good luck. Good luck. But I'm sure they have
So,
people there
so
that's
Nelly
probably
J,
really smart. So,
how far do you think we are? Because they toy with it at the All-Star game, All-Star break during the 3-point competition with the 4-point or 4-point line. Um, how far away do you think we are to incorporating a 4-point line into the game?
oh, no, we're not doing that. There's no point.
Ever? You can't
No,
see like even 20 years down the road. You
no,
you think
never.
like it
Nah.
always. Oh,
There's no
okay.
point in doing that. There's no point. There's no point in doing that. Like I don't see any value. Like
Okay, so here,
no.
well,
I don't see any
think about
value.
this
The
though.
3-point line makes sense, but
But
if you look at the basketball court, the 4-point line would have to be the half court instance, right? And you're only gonna take it
well,
if like you need 4 points to win a game, but no coach wants a player to take a 4-point shot for what? Like we're down by two. We're down, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the
well,
point? So
well,
so to me, that's just
dur
like,
dur
sorry, go ahead. You asked me a question, so I'm trying to answer. I'm just
I was
saying
gonna
I,
say
I don't think so.
during the, mhm, I get it, but I'm just saying during the 3-point competition, the 4-point circle they have is in between the 3-point line and a half, right?
I
So
know, but
if they
again,
had a
like,
line in
yeah.
between no, and I understand you're saying there's no incentive, but think about it. You have guys now, like if you're gonna shoot a 3-point shot, it would make sense for you to shoot it closest to the 3-point line. But you have guys right now taking shots a foot, 2 feet behind the 3-point line already. You know what I'm saying? In what is considered a 4-point territory. So that's why I was wondering.
Is that a 4 point
if you
territory?
see
Because anything after the 3 point line is a 3 point territory. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, why would you add a four
no,
point line to add additional line on the court? Doesn't even look nice. It will just look weird to add
well,
another line.
okay,
Because you're adding 3 point line, you already have the key, you're adding another line, and then there's a half court. Nah, that ain't basketball. That to me is
hmm
another sport. I mean, they can do it, but that's not basketball to me. I I think the 3 point line
hmm
always made sense because of the 94 feet and how the basketball is positioned in the half court. I get that, but a 4 point line, especially because shooting is a problem, this is going opposite of what they want. So
mm.
again, my
But
opinion.
and yeah, I get it. Keep this in mind though. So growing up, we watched basketball before the 3 point line. Then they incorporated the 3 point line. Okay. In the All-Star break like game, they incorporated during the 3 point competition. And the 3 point competition didn't always have a 4 point line, but
I know,
now
but
they
that's
notice,
different though.
oh, guys are
It's a
shooting so much farther. So
no, no. I get that.
yeah,
No, I get that, Faheem.
yeah,
But nonetheless, it's the problem is taking too many threes. It's not fun to watch basketball when
hmm
teams are taking 40, 50 threes. It's not fun to watch. We
hmm
watch the Raptors take all these threes for him, and we don't enjoy it.
hmm
We don't enjoy it. It has to be a balance. Basketball is it's a mixture of twos and threes, but also offensive efficiency. The most efficient teams don't take the most threes. The most efficient offenses win
Okay.
championships. So unless you have
hmm
a Steph Curry or even a David Lillard, again, those guys, like, how many teams have those? Like, there's two in the league,
Right.
right? So again, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, and again, if I'm a coach, no one's taking. If there was a 4 point line, hell no, that's a waste. That's unless I have a Steph on my team, but no one's taking that shot. Are you dumb? Like, Fahim, we have guys dribbling
Mm.
down that literally are 30% from the three, dribbling down the court on a fast break, taking threes. What are we doing here? See, if only people that were
Mm.
good taking threes took threes, it'd be different. And that was happening in the 90s. But now everybody and Neymar want to take a three. So it's kind of brought that whole 3 point, like, kind of mystique down. It's all the way to the bottom now because
hmm
everyone's taking it. Back in the day,
Right.
Fahim, I remember playing in high school. You were taking threes unless you were a 3 point shooter. Like you wouldn't think of it. Now, guys who have no right are taking threes because they're open. Why not?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The mystique of
Guys
three
who
point line
can't
is
even
now
hit free
dead.
throws
So
are shooting threes. So
yeah. And again, the
hmm
game isn't fun taking all these threes unless you're like you have a prolific scorer. Prolific scorer. But I've seen top guys take like 10, 15 threes and make two. Imagine the 4 point line. The egos of these players, Lord, they'll be taking all 4 point attempts all game just to prove a point. Hey, I took four 4 point
no.
shots. Okay, but you lost. You lost the
Right.
game. You took 20 attempts. Like,
Mm.
oh man.
All right. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't rule it out in 20 years if they I just think the game has changed so much. I have a feeling the game I used to know will be so much different going in the future. So I wouldn't rule it out in 20 years. Why not? We'll see. Well, maybe we won't see. I don't know. All right. So Nelly J, let's go for the culture.
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight someone that I'm a huge fan of. Love his attitude. He got so much slack for him and he was playing for the Lakers, but now he's in happy situation with the Clippers. Russell Westbrook. So, y'all, Mr. Russell Westbrook
Hmm.
is building 180 affordable housing units in South Central LA. Woo! Wow, Fahim. So dope. He posted on his IG
Nice.
story, proud to be investing in my community, South Central LA. We're building 180 affordable housing units surrounded by community centered businesses and anchored by at Target Real LA Native. So, Fahim, we know LeBron built housing for the families that go to I Promise, the school. Now we got Westbrook, but 180, that's so
hmm
many units. And looking at the images for him, there's like a grass court, they're building a basketball court. theme. It's going to be such
Yeah.
a beautiful complex. Looking at the photos of the buildings right now, and that's why Russell Westbrook is for the culture because he's investing in his community. So big up to you, Russ. Faheem, any thoughts on this?
It's amazing. Uh, that's something we're gonna all. Russ will always be remembered as a basketball player, but I think this is something that when you talk legacy, this is great. He plays. He played, and it would make sense. He spends so much time in LA for like last few seasons on both sides. Um, not a, I don't know how to say this, but you know, we've heard about you heard about Steph and his um s- uh, project that they have that they're actually taking people out of their living situations. Have you heard about this, Nelly J?
No, but I'll talk about Russell Westbrook though. What does it do with Russell
I know,
Westbrook?
I know,
Okay,
I know.
okay.
Well, I'm
So
just saying, uh, I'm saying, you know, uh, this is a situation where we have people who have someone who's putting people in houses opposed to kicking them out. Um,
became so messy. What a messy,
yeah, that
messy, messy. So messy, man. So messy, man. Can we leave Steph somewhere? Like, I want to, you know why? Because Russ is always okay. So that's fine. I don't know what you're talking about, and I haven't heard about it, so I can't comment. But the fact that Russ is
okay.
doing this, I think it's really huge. Only because
Uh,
like I think a lot of time when it comes to wealth management, these guys are getting older. We talk about leaving a legacy.
yes.
This is a legacy, right? Yes, you may
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
win championships and all the MVPs. He has the MVP, but leaving a legacy, having this type of units built, this is something that he can leave to his children and his family, right? Owning this complex, building in his community, giving, I'm sure, to
Right.
have affordable housing for them. This is something how you give back and build that legacy. And that's why I want to highlight that Russ is just it's not just a
Hmm.
basketball player. He's more than that. So I really want to definitely give him a shout out for that.
Definitely. Um, he also has with when you mentioned financial literacy just a moment ago, made me think of I think it's Varo. There's a financial app in the United States that he is also uh,
Mm,
partnered with also. So I just want to give him some respect on
perfect.
that. He seems to be, yeah, out off the court, really connected to the
Yeah,
community.
man.
Mhm, mhm.
Listen, you
Yeah.
gotta respect Russ. You gotta respect Russell Westbrook, man. Enough is enough.
Hmm. Definitely. He gets a lot of slander, so I mean that's a great for the culture
No,
and
he got
highlight
slandered by LeBron
because
James fans in LA. That was it. And then Kevin Durant fans in OKC slandered him. But outside of that, if we're not Kevin Durant stan or LeBron stan, like you weren't like those people, like everyone else wasn't slandering like Russ. It was just those folks who had a narrative of blaming him for why certain people can't win a championship when they were playing with him. But yeah, I'll leave that alone. Different conversation. But no, Russ, you for the culture.
okay.
Thank you for giving back to the community. Thank you for all that you're
Yep.
doing. Keep it up. The real ones know what it is. Keep your head down. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you and the Clippers do in the playoffs. So let's see. Hopefully you guys can stay healthy.
Yeah. All right. Nelly J, let's go ahead and close out this episode with That's Absurd.
That's absurd. Speaking, bro, what was absurd this week? What was absurd? Ah.
Isaiah Stewart.
Oh boy.
Allegedly. Are we going with allegedly on this or
No,
did
no, he got charged.
okay.
I mean, at this
He okay,
point,
so
it's
yeah,
not
it's
alleged.
beyond allegedly
We
now.
know it happened. Yeah, there's many reports. The alleged part has gone through
Track
the window.
down, track down, track down Drew Eubanks. And are we going with assaulted him?
I don't think it
Because
was a track down.
I heard.
It seemed like they had an altercation on site at
Hmm.
like like
Right,
at the arena, and he punched him. From what Shams reported,
right.
seemed like
But
it was just
right,
yeah. Something was said in the parking lot or something. I don't know, but something was said prior.
right. So
It
that's why I said
continued
the track
in.
down. Hmm.
It continued inside
Hmm.
and on site it occurred and boom. I think there's charges and a whole bunch of bacchanal, But it's just absurd to be punching the opposing team player prior to a game. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, what? Absurd.
Absurd. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see how. Now, about reputation, keep in mind this is the same person that was he the one that went after LeBron? Yes, that's what made him popular because I did not know him before he attacked LeBron a
He
few
didn't attack LeBron.
seasons
LeBron
ago.
elbowed him in the
Uh,
face.
oh, okay.
LeBron, I
Oh, okay. It
remember,
was LeBron
remember, his nose was bleeding. LeBron hit him in the face. His face was bleeding. Then he ran
hit
after
him.
LeBron in the game. He did not
Okay, so
attack LeBron.
it's
It
funny how
was
time.
LeBron actually hit him in the face. And he
Okay,
was
yeah,
blood
yeah,
was
yeah.
gushing down. And then he was like, he saw the blood and he got
Right,
upset and tried to go after LeBron. And LeBron was like, yo, and then things stopped. But yeah, no, he did not just attack
right.
LeBron.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, great memory there, Nelly J. Because all I remember a few seasons ago, it was him chasing after LeBron. But you are right. Now that you said that, yeah, that's right. He did get hit, and then he went. But yeah. So here we are now punching. He's kind of, I guess, a brawler. I guess that's a rep. But
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm not I don't I'll tell you know why he punched him. For him, I can't say he was wrong for doing
mhm,
it. Like, we have no clue what Drew Eubanks said or did to lead him to that. That's why I'm just like, I mean, sometimes we look at the reaction and go, "Oh, he's such a bad person," but what led him to that point, right? So I'm
yeah.
not gonna judge
Mhm,
him yet until I know more details about like what was said to him, to lead to that. Because again,
mhm.
what if he insulted his family or something? We don't know what was said, so that's why I'm just like, it's absurd that it happened. I'm not gonna lie, but did Drew deserve to get punched? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know.
Yeah. It's just where I'm going with the absurd is if it happened on the court, yeah, but to hear that happen like outside of basketball, that's what
It
made
must have been
it
disrespectful.
completely really absurd.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
All right, Nelly J. Let's put this episode in the books.
That was the Good Rookie Show.
Hmm.
So guys, I'm gonna shout out one of my friends that unfortunately passed away um today, or the day of recording. So rest in peace and prayers to J Will, Jermaine Williams. Just he was leading advocacy for Black academics, Black teaching, the systemic issues within the educational system. He was a leader in that, appeared in many TV segments in Canada, in newspapers and articles. He's someone 40 years old young, just someone that I think was always for the people, started an actual movement in helping break the systemic issues in education for Black children and Black students. And yeah, just a great person that we've lost, someone who I know whose efforts and movement will not will be an inspiration for a lot of people. And I remember I spoke on my podcast, he was doing his stuff and he was always very encouraging, and very inspirational. Like, I loved seeing all the stuff he was doing, speaking engagements and educating the media in Canada just about the struggles for a lot of Black children in Canada, because it's a systemic bias towards Black children and students. So big up to you, JJ. Forever loved, forever missed, and honestly, prayers out to his family, his mom, everyone. I know it's everyone's mourning for him. So just want to send my thoughts and prayers to everybody.
Wow. It's heavy. It's deep. I mean, just closing out Black History Month. He clearly seemed like someone who was a leader. So, wow, I did not know Nelly J.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep. So that's why I want to dedicate this episode to him, to his memory, to his movement, and reminds us all that, like, no matter what you're doing out there, guys, if you're moving with good intentions, none of us know when that day will come for us. So just always make sure that you're leaving some type of legacy, inspiration, and he definitely has. Very tragic, in loving memory of Jay Williams, Jermaine, for those who knew him. But yeah, just enough like love and respect, and yeah, I really hope that I know he will continue to live with all of us, because he's left a lasting impression on a lot of people in Toronto, Canada, especially Malvern kids. So yeah, big up to him. Yeah,
big up. Respect. All right. On that note, you know what? I think it's perfect that we just we close Black History Month and the episode on that.
Absolutely. So guys, again, thank you for taking the time. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Faheem.
We're on all of our platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. It's the Good Rookie Show. And we out.
Blessings, y'all. Peace.
Blessings.